Okay, so before we get into the STI track day video, I have a huge announcement to make. So merch line is coming soon. You guys asked for it. You guys gave me crap for not having a merch line, but here it is. This is race and driving inspired gear, and hopefully you guys like it. Once I get the sample products and I approve it, the video or the site is gonna go live. So hopefully you guys like it. I really do appreciate your guys' support. It really means a lot to me for my first drop. But anyways, on to the video. All right, so here we are, track day with the STI. I am almost low. Let me turn this down before I get copyrighted. Sorry, too short. So we're going to the Ridge, the racetrack today, one of our local tracks here in Washington State. A very nice facility. I've been here twice before with the WRX, and I'm just gonna be here to shake down the car, see how the suspension feels, and the tires that I got, which I got for basically super duper cheap. We are almost there. Let me just check back in once we get checked in and onto the track, into the pits. So here we are. Get you a nice look at the corkscrew right there, which is pretty cool. Nice, good elevation changes here at the Ridge, of course. Oh, look at this sweet M4, the color I want. Damn, that thing is sweet. It's a CS too. So we're a little early. It's about 1:30, and the track doesn't go hot until 3 o'clock. So it gives us time to set everything up. Okay, so you guys know me. I'm gonna bring E85. That's right, so I got 4 jugs of E85 with 6 gallons in each. So that should last me throughout the day. So I got some snacks in the front. I got some drinks and some stuff in the trunk that I need to empty out. So let's do that now. So I'm not using my gimbal, so you're gonna have to deal with the shaky video for now. But this is the trunk. I didn't really bring much. Some tools, my camera gear, some extra fluids. I got oil and coolant, my helmet. This is my cleaning gear that I keep in the car all the time. Let's see, my brake bleeder, which hopefully I don't need, and some extra rags. That's really all I really brought with me today. Not really gonna go very hard on the track today, so. Little track tour. So here's the fun part of the track. This is the corkscrew. I'll show you guys right now so you guys can see. Nice little elevation change. Always love this part. Okay, track is hot. I'm fully checked in. One thing I forgot at home was my tire pressure gauge. You know, dang, such a freaking noob, man. But these are right now set at around 35 PSI. I'm gonna set them down to about 30 to 32 pounds. That's where these RE71R tires are usually the happiest, and then we'll adjust accordingly after each session. One good thing about going to a track session midweek, it's usually an older, more mature crowd, which is more for me. You don't get the young first-timers, you know, people that don't really like to follow track rules. But yeah, there's only about, I don't know, 29 of us here. Now, one thing that's gonna really hold me back is the brakes. The stock brakes are still on there. Now, I ordered brand new brakes. Unfortunately, I just got notification that they're here. Unfortunately, they didn't get to me on time. That's what you get when you register for a track day 26 hours before it starts. But I ordered Hawk DTC 60s and some Castrol SRF brake fluid, which is an arm and a leg. And I kind of regret spending $70 for a bottle of brake fluid, but it is what it is. And I won't be able to use it, but we'll use that fluid next time. Session number 2 is done. Ran it just a little bit harder, and holy crap, do these tires grip. I forgot how good they gripped. And you know, brakes are, you know, there's nothing I can do about that. It is what it is. The car's running just fine. Got a max about 2.8 knock, feedback knock, but that's normal, so I'm not even gonna worry about that. So let's take a look at the tires. As you can see, I ran them just a little bit harder. I took out some tire pressure. I think they're about 32 hot right now, and so much more grip. As you can see, the wear marks are all the way down to right above this arrow. And like always, you know, they'll last a good 15 minutes before they start getting greasy, but they work for me. They grip just fine. I can run them a little bit harder, but I don't want to overrun the brakes. So 2:04 so far is the best time. Trying to get under that 2-minute mark, which I think I can if I had better brakes. Actually, I think I could easily, but it is what it is. So I have to brake earlier. As I get in about 15 minutes into the session, I have to brake a lot earlier than I do at the beginning. As you're on your way back to the track, because they're warm and everything. So car did extremely well. Barely any knock on this Brentune E-Tune. I really can't complain. Put everything in sport sharp, traction control off as I showed you earlier. So I was behind a GT350 M3 and a Porsche 911, trying to get them to give me a point by, but car's just not fast enough, especially on the straights. They just left me behind. I don't know if I'm able to get you guys some video. I'll be using the dash cam because my dumbass left the SD card at home for my GoPro. But I'm really proud of the STI so far as the way it handles. The tires, man, I'm telling you, they grip so good, and the car is rotating very well. Okay, so let me show you guys the settings that I'm running it at. Auto minus, and obviously traction control off because I'm a man. No offense, I'm just saying. And so far, it's just handling very neutral. So far, it's so good, no complaints. The car likes to kick out in the rear if you give it too much gas or if you're a little bit too aggressive, which is kind of what I prefer. Coolant temps, so far max temperature was 220, and really nothing else to complain. Car is running phenomenally great. Yeah, I was behind you.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you.
Oh, well, why is that?
You pushed me.
Oh, I pushed you?
I couldn't let you pass me.
Oh, I was
following. So I just did my fastest lap ever.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So,
I was just following you. I just needed someone to follow.
Yeah. No, I'll get.
about 7:30 at night. So in case you guys are wondering, since my brake fluid didn't come in, this is what I use, the RBF 600. They also have the RBF 660. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. Awesome track day so far. Awesome track, awesome people, that is for sure. I'm just letting the car cool down before I head home. Sorry for the shaky video, but yeah, totally amazed with the way the car ran today. Hopefully I got some video for you with the dash cam, but the motor ran absolutely phenomenal. Just a little bit of knock, but that's normal. 2.8 knock, so not bad for running the car really hard. Okay, so first track day with the STI, but I have a few thoughts and impressions when it comes to the STI. There is one thing, or actually a few things that really impressed me with the STI, and a couple of things that disappointed me, but that was expected. So one, as you guys saw in the video, I had to brake really early, especially when it came to about 15 minutes into the track session. We did 5 20-minute sessions, and yeah, after about 15 minutes, you can really start to feel the OEM brake pads start to fade. Now at the ridge, there is a long straightaway where you reach about 130, 135 miles an hour into that long straight where you go into turn 1 and turn 2. So I had to brake really early into that corner. I'm pretty sure I could shave about, half a second to a second if I had better brake pads. And there were a couple of 100-mile-an-hour corners where you have to slow down to about 30 or 50 miles an hour, depending on which corner it is. And you can really start to feel those brakes fade. So my fault. So OEM pads, like I said before in the video, I signed up for this track day 26 hours before it started. So I really had no time to order brake pads, and not only order it, it wouldn't get to me in time for me to install it. But other than that, the car handled phenomenally great. I have a new appreciation for the STI drivetrain. With traction control off, you can really feel the center and rear differential really work for you to get your car pointed in the right direction. Also, the tires handled amazingly great, although they started to feel greasy about towards the end of the 20-minute session. But not my first choice as far as track day tires, but they still did hold up very well. Also, one thing that really impressed me were the coilovers. These are the Fortune Auto 510 series coilovers. These coilovers are designed for track duty, and let me tell you, the overall compliance with these coilovers really impressed me. I was planning on going with a more expensive setup, but for my skill and the power levels of the STI, I think the Fortune Auto 510 series coilovers will do me just fine. No complaints whatsoever. I had it set at 14 clicks front, 12 clicks rear. From full soft, I could have went a little stiffer, but I was overall happy with the control as far as the dampers with the Fortune Auto 510 series coilovers. So hopefully more track days in the future. I'm really impressed. Also, one thing that really needs an upgrade, as you can see in the background, I have my Brid Zeta 3 seat, which I did not install for this track day. I just didn't have any time. That seat is too small for me. That seat is still up for sale. I plan on going with a different seat once I get this seat sold, but the stock seat really didn't hold me in very well, which was expected. So if you plan to get serious as far as track day duty, I highly suggest recommending, at least at the very minimum, tires, brakes, and the OEM seat. All that stuff needs to go. But overall, hopefully more track days in the future. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Once again, merch line is dropping soon. Hopefully you guys support me that way. Also check out the links down in the description below. That also really helps out the channel. But any comments, criticism, anything, please write them down below in the comment section. Once again, I appreciate your guys' support. It means a lot to me. And hopefully more track days. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, guys.